Okay, hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Oh geez, it's really dark. Okay guys, welcome back to the channel From the Road with Love, where we're turning this camper van into the ultimate lap of Australia rig. It's a four-wheel drive Toyota Camroad that we're completely stripping out and making as bougie and as fancy and as modern as we can to get us basically everywhere we want to go and as much comfort as possible. We've just finished the interior subframe. We've rebuilt that out of aluminium to make it as strong as possible and support some of the extra weight that we're going to add to the roof. Speaking of which, we're doing our rooftop vent fans today. Reason we're replacing these, the old ones were, I guess, as old as the van, leaking. They were the cause of the water ingress that you might have seen in our previous episode. So we're upgrading them to some much more modern alternatives. Now, I've actually gone with a sort of fake MaxxAir vent fan because the MaxxAir Deluxes or whatever, about $500 or $600 a pop. I found these ones on eBay for $288 a pop. So we're going to give them a go, roll the dice a little bit with that. And then we're actually moving one of our fans, but instead of filling off that hole, blocking that off, I've decided to just fill it up with another fan. So we've got 3 fans going up. If we get time this episode, we're also going to chuck the air conditioner up there as well, which is quite heavy. That's going to be a little bit more extra effort. And yeah, I've already pre-made some frames for them to screw into. This is marine plywood. You want to kind of go as good quality as you can with these. If you use, cheaper pine or something, that's it's just going to split when you drill into it, and it's going to be a lot more susceptible to rotting if it gets wet. We've already got 2 pre-cut holes from our previous fan, so that makes things a lot easier for us. We only need to cut 1 extra hole for one of the other fans. Yeah, we'll chuck them up there, seal them off with some butyl tape, screw them in, give them another seal, and that's pretty much it. It's a very scary job if you're doing it the first time and you have to cut a hole yourself, but in the big scheme of things, it's not the end of the world. If they do end up leaking a little bit, you just chuck a whole another tube of silicone sealant up there and hope for the best. All right, let's get cracking. Okay, so this is where our old fan was, pardon the glare from that side. We're just going to give it a clean and clean off, I guess, where the tape was that we had keeping that core fluid on. Well, it needs to be clean. It doesn't have to be smooth because this sealant and butyl tape's going to smooth out the gaps and stick to sort of everything as it is, but we do want to make sure we're not trying to stick that to an incompatible chemical or whatever. Okay, now we've just given it a bit of a test fit to make sure I've ordered the right size before we get all the sticky stuff out, and the good news is she fits snug as a bug. Now, to clean off all this sticky old duct tape that I used to seal it while it was raining, we're just using waxing grease remover, which is a bit of a miracle product. It kind of just dissolves all that sticky stuff, so you can just wipe it off. It's out of everything I've used, this is probably the one thing I keep going back to when I've got to clean stuff. Okay, so we'll just do a test fit of our little frames, but essentially this is going to go up here, that slots in there, that bit slots up there, and that gives our fan something to screw into, because you can see how thin and flimsy that fiberglass is, and those screws would rip straight out. And here's Dad with the butyl tape and cold drinks. Nice. Next up, we are gonna be laying down some butyl tape to give this thing something to stick to, screwing it in, and then sealing it off. Sort of 3 steps, I guess. Let's go. Okay, next up, we're gonna lay some butyl tape down all around the edges. Now, this stuff's absolutely horrible to work with, but we've kept it in the fridge for the last day. Cool it down, it becomes way easier to cut. Pro tip for you. Yep, I've got the front at the front. Okay, there's just a lot of tape around the outside. Can you grab my craft knife? Now we've just used a bunch of Sikaflex 291, a plastic glove and a bunch of Windex. Basically just gone all around the outside very heavily, seal that up. Doesn't have to be pretty in this case because it's up on the roof, who cares? So long as it's watertight, that's all we care about. Okay, so we've done 2 of our roof vent fans now and learned a few things along the way. So when we do our final one, I will talk you through that one a bit more. Now, what we've sort of, I guess I wouldn't say messed up, but you can see on this one over here, we've got the black butyl tape sort of sticks out a bit more and it makes it a bit harder to seal. I've sealed sort of over top of that. Hopefully that is good enough because the butyl tape's about this wide. So when we did our second one, I actually folded the butyl tape over itself to create a thicker sort of double layer butyl tape, and that seems to have made for a much nicer finish. We've obviously siliconed over top of the butyl tape already because it wasn't sticking out so far. It's turned out quite nice. I think I'll probably have to put some silicone around here as well. Other than that, I think that's looking a lot nicer, so we'll do that approach for this one too with some doubled up butyl tape. We've already lined up our frame inside by drilling sort of one corner hole where we want it to go. I'm now going to make sure that it's all straight and level on the back here. It should be sort of pretty centered over our shower. Yeah, this will be our final, no, almost final roof fan, and then we're going to chuck the aircon up there. Woohoo! Alright, so that's going to go on the inside, and see, will that fit that way? Yeah. Okay, so now we've got our hole cut. We're going to do a test fit, because if you put all your sticky stuff down before you do a test fit and then chuck it in there and it doesn't fit, you are in a world of trouble. And that is as snug as we would like it. So now we're ready to stick on our butyl tape and then chuck our screws into the frame. Okay, so this is how I've been doing the butyl tape now. My new method: pull out the length you want, being very careful not to actually touch the tape. Cut it very quickly. Didn't work. Fold it over. Lay that down. We'll just get a little bit of overlap of the edge. Yeah, too warm. I think it's this tape's just not. So what you've seen there is what happens when the butyl tape gets a bit too hot. It softens up a bit too much and it won't release from the backing tape. So a way to combat that is putting this in the fridge, cooling it right down so it's a bit stiffer, and that makes it easier to peel. So we're going to go do that before we do the rest of these ones. Less sticky, and then we can, oh, pointing the wrong way. Okay, we've got our new and improved cold tape, and that's going to peel off way better. Oh, that's heated up. Okay, we've got this butyl taped, screwed on. Now we're going to apply some Sikaflex 291 all around the outside of it and on top of those screws. Oh hey, now we're just going to use Windex and our finger to smooth that out. Sort of helps it level out. Okay, now if you compare that to our first job, way better. We're getting pretty good at this now. We've got a nice smooth bead around the outside. We've put some over our screws. Okay, next up it's time to put our air conditioner in. So we've already cut our hole. We've got it nicely braced with aluminium around there, so pretty happy with that. And now just going to mount the bracket for it, the flange for it. I'm going to give it one final clean with wax and grease remover, my favourite product, so that the butyl tape adheres properly, and then we're going to be good to mount it. Okay, so this time we're going to apply the butyl tape to the flange first. Secret with the butyl tape is, keep it frozen or cold at least. Then it cuts a lot nicer and doesn't stick to as many things. It does warm up pretty quick, but yeah, we think we've found the way to do it. Alright, we've made sure we got this side up on the right side of the flange. That was a potential mistake. And now we're just gonna feed it up and set it down. Hopefully we can just do this from the side. Okay, we did it. Now, while we were laying that down, we just had to make sure these bolts, holes, were accessible, I guess. Bolt put throughable, and we've done that. Nice. Okay, it is a hot day, I'm sweating. But we have our mounting thingy for the aircon now up. That's butyl taped and siliconed on. We've lined up those holes. Next up, we're going to try to work out how to get a 30 kilogram air conditioner up on the roof. We've got a creative idea. Hint, hint. We've got a balcony. We have our aircon on the roof. And woohoo! Due to health and safety reasons, we won't show you how we got it up there, but all you need to know is that it is up there and bolted on. And our roof, I guess, besides the roof racks and solar, our roof is pretty much complete, which is a pretty big milestone. Now, the other exciting thing is what I was worried about with having this extra weight of the aircon here. I was a bit worried about the roof sort of caving in and letting water pool, but as you can see now, we've still got a concave roof, even with the 30 kg aircon on, so huge win for the project there. We're going to chuck the shroud on it and yeah, move on.